So I have this pattern that I've noticed, and I'm gonna walk you through it. And this kind of starts intense, but it is what it is. I I think about things a lot. I know that's surprising. I overthink things. I analyze things. I wrestle with things. My brain is always noisy. And this pattern has formed over the years. And I'm going to walk you through one of the recent ones. It's 5:30 one night. It's a normal day. Not especially good, not especially bad, not especially anything. Truthfully, I couldn't tell you much of anything that happened that day. It was just a day. And I think it was a Tuesday. And I was driving home and I had this song on. Stephen Wilson Jr., he's somebody that I've talked about in previous episodes, and he's somebody that I just can't get enough of right now. And he does this song, Tonight, Tonight. And as I'm driving along down the road, traffic, 5:30, listening to the music, enjoying it, this song comes on, and I'm like, just enjoying it. And I've begun to suspect that music is part of my language. It's part of how I translate things. It's part of how I embrace things, because it's a regular influencer of my thoughts. And Tonight comes on, and it's talking through the struggles of life and how it is. And there's this line that hits me. And the line goes something along the lines of, if you held yourself up to the light. And it's this self-examination trigger. And the line that really hits me is, we'll crucify the insincere tonight. And something happened when I heard that line. Something happened to me when I heard that line. And as soon as that line came out, I just felt all of it. And I remember that I saw the exit up ahead, because I was on the highway. Saw the exit up ahead. I immediately exited on May Avenue. And I navigated through traffic, feeling 1,000 things. And I pulled up at the light, and I figured out what lane I was supposed to be in. And I turned left because I knew I needed to get to somewhere. I knew I needed to land. I couldn't deal with everything in traffic. And I take my left, I pass the next light, take a ride into the local Lowe's parking lot. And I pull into the parking lot, and I pull into a parking space, and I put my car in park, and I just fell apart. Just fell apart. Just from that line of like, crucify the insincere. And it flipped this switch inside of me that pointed out something that mattered. And it was this reminder of the kind of person that I wanted to be. And I fell apart for about 10 minutes. And then I wiped my eyes, took a drink, started my car, pulled out onto May Avenue, and drove the rest of the way home. And it was this 10-minute blip of being ambushed by a truth that I needed to hear. And I needed to hear it enough that even now, recounting that story to you, my eyes well up with tears just thinking about it. I knew I wasn't going to make it home. I knew I needed to pull over. And I got ambushed and I had to pull off and feel all of that. And it caught me off guard. But when I drove away from that moment, I didn't feel lost. I didn't feel shattered. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I just had this sense of something good just happened to me. Something I needed just happened to me and happened for me. And it felt sudden. But I know that things like that are coming from somewhere. Do you know what I mean when I say that? That wasn't a disconnected thing. That was something that came from somewhere that highlighted something that I needed to look at. And I will be the first to raise my hand and admit that it would have been very easy to change the song and to not feel that thing. And I want to go even one step farther. It would have been very easy to treat that like something is wrong with me. It would have been really easy to call that moment weakness or meltdown. But I want to push something up. Like I said a few minutes ago, if you hold yourself up to the light, if I hold those moments, if I hold that moment up to the light, that wasn't weakness, that wasn't meltdown. That was a moment that I needed to have. And it would have been easy to change the song. It would have been easy to make a phone call. It would have been easy to do something else to distract me from that moment, from that feeling, from that time. And here's what I want to land on for a second. Distraction ends it. It ends that moment. And I'll go a step farther. We are experts at distraction. We're experts at being busy. We're experts at always having something else to do. We're experts at always grabbing a game that we can play or a thing that we can do. We are experts at filling all of our time with every single moment of packing activity. And we've gotten so much worse at being open to whatever that is. In that moment, I could have chosen distraction. Let's skip this. I don't want to do this. This is weakness. Or I could find the nearest exit and lean into it. Be open to it. Let it land. And I want to say this that goes along with it. When we distract, when we avoid, when we dodge it, when we keep shutting it down, it doesn't go away. It gets quieter. When we ignore it enough times, it starts to get quieter. And we think that it's going away. And guess what? Not going away. It's going deeper. It gets quieter and it goes deeper. And guess what? At some point, it's going to come back louder and more unavoidably. And I want to say this: the early moment isn't the breakdown. Dealing with it when it raises its head isn't the breakdown. It's not the meltdown. It's not the loss. It's not the weakness. The early moment, embracing the early moment, embracing that moment is what could have kept me from the painful one that comes later. Painful one that comes later. What we ignore early on will eventually overwhelm us. And I wonder how much our anxiety and we just talked about in the last episode, fear and all of these things. What happens in the moment when we get ambushed? What happens if we surrender to it? And I don't mean surrender as weakness, surrender as, okay, what do you got for me? I want some more of that. And I want to reframe this slightly, because I don't want this to just be personal improvement. I don't want this to just be emotional awareness. I don't want it to just be this soft thing. This practice affects our parenting. This practice affects our relationships. This practice affects our coworkers. This practice affects every aspect and every area of our lives, because when we avoid it on the drive home, it may show up the next day at work. When something is bubbling up and trying to make itself apparent in our work and we avoid it, it may show up in our drive home. It may wait for us and show up as a problem that gets expensive and painful to solve later because we avoided it now. So I have this encouragement that I'm delivering to myself as much as to anybody else. When the ambush comes, let it. Don't dodge it. Don't convince yourself out of it. Don't distract yourself away from it. Lean into it. Because we either deal with it now or it compounds and we deal with the compounded version of it later. I hope this helps. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys next week.